Good afternoon, friends. I'm just recovering from sore throat, and if my voice gets hoarse, please forgive me. I'm privileged to be sharing the dais with a wonderful and a great human being, Pujyashri Virendra Hegde, who is worshipped in my part of the world in every household. Sir, I'm very grateful to you for giving me this opportunity to be here. It's nearly 1.5 hours. We are about half an hour late. You are probably expecting one more boring speech. I will try to make it as short as possible. I would like to think that the next few minutes there are only the graduating doctors and myself on the dais, and nobody else exists in this auditorium, because it's going to be purely a dialogue between me and them. So please forgive me. I want to be the greatest doctor is what you all want to think, and you all should be. Interestingly, you are limited by your own imagination. You have just seen the top rankers coming and taking medals after medals. This is the way every classroom in the world works. There are people sitting in the back bench of every school thinking that it is the outstanding doctors, outstanding students who are going to conquer the world. We, the average students, the failures, do not play a major role in this world. But interestingly, the world doesn't work like that. The world belongs to the backbenchers. There are several studies done across the world which show that outstanding institutions in the world are created by very average and below average students. And they build the institution which is managed by average students, and the toppers of the school work for these two categories of people. I am not saying that if you are the topper, you can't make it in life. Success is guaranteed for you, but never right off the backbenchers, because they are the people who change the rules of the game. Now, you all must be wondering which bench I was sitting. In real life, it is not the brightest and the strongest who conquer the world. It is the one who thinks he can. I just want to show you a quotation. I'm sure you can read it. Unlike in our times, medical students of today do not spend much time with the patients, and they lack dedication. Isn't it a dialogue by your teachers? Yes. This is the dialogue of my teachers as well. And do you know who made this statement? Hippocrates, before 460 before Christ, said that students are not caring for the patients, they are not serious. So if your teachers ever told you that you are useless, don't take them seriously. Always dare to dream big. Dreams are most needed when not everything is going right. Dreams are required when just about everything is going wrong. Remember, in life, you can only succeed 50% of the time. You have to fail 50% of the time. There is no one on this earth who has succeeded in everything he did. So you can't be an exception. And in life, never give up. I just want to tell you a short story. During the Second World War, Winston Churchill was the leader. Nazis were attacking Britain and the Allied forces everywhere. The British forces were trashed everywhere. There was not even a single building left in London which was not bombed by the Nazis. Victory was imminent for the Nazis, but Winston Churchill ensured the victory for the Allied forces. After the success, the world media wanted to know how Winston Churchill, in that difficult situation, steered the Allied forces to success. They invited him to an auditorium. The world media was watching. Winston Churchill was asked to give his opinion. He got up and he walked to the dais, looked at the world media, and said only one sentence: never, never, never give up. So in life, you will have many, many problems. You can't be an exception, but never, never give up. We build institutions across the country. We hire a large number of doctors, nurses, technicians, administrators. I train large number of surgeons. Ultimately, the surgeons who rise to the top are not the one who hold the blue ribbon, who have not taught the college. It is the one who work a little bit extra. When I go at 2 o'clock at night to see a patient who is not well, the surgeon who is standing beside the patient is the one who is going to rise to the top. Just because you have done well in the academics doesn't guarantee you success. It is the extra effort of working for 12 hours, 18 hours is the one which is going to make a difference. Have a nice attitude. Be compassionate. What is this nice attitude? When a patient is coming to your office to see you, if he looks at you with a grumpy face, believe me, you may be the outstanding doctor knowing everything about the disease. You are not going to cure the patient. In our organization, like any other organization, we hire people for the attitude. And skill can be taught. It is no big deal in teaching people the skill. I just want to give a short story. How attitude makes a difference. Many years ago, perhaps 80 years ago, an old couple, they were driving towards New York at night. It was snowing very badly. The road was jammed. The couple couldn't enter New York. They thought they could spend the night in a motel. They entered a motel on the roadside, and the manager politely told them that there are no rooms available. So the old man started pleading, saying that, look, I am old, I can't drive, my wife is not well, can you accommodate us just for tonight? The manager obliged. The couple got a room, they spent the night in a warm room, they were happy. Next day morning, when the manager got up, when the old man got up, he wanted to check out. He realized, he looked at the manager sleeping in the couch of the corridor of the hotel. Actually, the manager gave his room to the old couple to spend the night. So the old man thanked the manager. Life went back to normal to the old man and the manager. But after a few days, the manager of the hotel received an envelope with an appointment letter to become the chief executive officer of a hotel called Waldorf Astoria. At that time, it was the most expensive hotel built in the world. A manager of a motel became the CEO of the world's most expensive hotel. What is his qualification? Just compassion, good attitude. So, develop a good attitude, you will conquer the world. And the degrees will not give you a guarantee. Failure is part of life. We teach our children to succeed. Teachers teach their students to succeed. But the world doesn't teach people to cope with the failure. When we don't teach people how to cope with the failure, when the failure happens, which happens in all our life, they're not geared, they don't know how to cope. When the examination results come for 10th standard or 11th standard, next day in the paper, we hear some young student had committed suicide. Suicide is the final solution to a temporary problem. Every problem in this world is temporary. Every problem in this world can be overcome. Failure is part of life. I just want to ask the students, do you know who is the safest surgeon? Do you know who is the safest surgeon? Safest surgeon is the one who doesn't operate. If you operate, somebody is going to get hurt, somebody is going to die. But that doesn't prevent you from operating. Ship is safest on the dock. But it is not designed to be on the dock. It has to be in the deep sea and face all the problems in the sea. This is how your life is. Just want to talk to you about some of the famous failures. How people overcome failures. This is about a story which is more than 100 years ago about one of the world leaders. He lost his job in 1832. He was defeated in the Legislative Assembly in 1832. He failed in business in 1833. There is a list of things he failed in everything in life, wherever he even lost election to the local body. And then what happens? Did he give up? No. Then he was elected as the President of USA in 1860. And America never had a president like him. Remember, in life, there is always a second chance. Never think that I didn't get into the PG this time, so I can't make it in life. I have lost this opportunity of life. There is nothing like opportunity of life. One opportunity goes, hundreds of them will come on your way. Remember, all failures are temporary. Always learn from others' mistakes. As a surgeon, I want to go all over the world to watch other surgeons operate. From a lot of surgeons, I learn how to operate. And also from a lot of surgeons, I learn how not to operate. Because when they finish the heart surgery, heart looks like a leftover dog's dinner. I wouldn't like them to cut my hair. In life, when things are going wrong, remember, things are never as bad as it looks like. And in life, when things are looking great, things are never as great as it looks like. It is always something in between. So when you haven't done well in a particular exam, or you haven't got into a particular PG seat, never think that life is over. It is never as bad as you think it is. Similarly, you got through the ECFMG or USMLE and you're thinking that you have conquered the world. Remember, after all the exam, you may never get a job. We don't know. So in life, there is nothing, no extremes. Now all of you have only one agenda, how to get into PG. Am I right? Yes. I want you to learn from a dragonfly. Dragonfly gets attracted to the light. In a bedroom there is light shining, there is a window with a glass. One window is open, other one is shut. The dragonfly hits the glass and he wants to eat the light. It will keep on hitting on the glass without realizing that all it has to do is to move 6 inches on the other side and the window is open. So it can go to the light. It doesn't do that. It will keep on hitting the glass until it gets tired and it falls. This is the story of most of the doctors who want to get into PG seat. It doesn't matter whether you do your MS in general surgery, whether you do DNB in general surgery, or you go to US and do your FRCS, or you go to UK, you go to US and do your boards. It doesn't matter. You want to be a surgeon? Never be fixated about the route. Always be fixated about the destination. It doesn't matter how you reach. When one door doesn't open, there are many other roads. Always explore. When I was a young surgeon in England, my colleague taught me one lesson. He said, the only jobs you don't get are the ones you don't apply. Keep applying, keep trying. One day you will get where you want to reach. Be humble, be polite. It doesn't cost you anything to be nice to others. As doctors, people touch our feet, they think you are God. They make you feel you are not the ordinary. But remember, we are like anybody else. Ultimately what matters in life is how nice you are to others, especially when society wants to put you on a pedestal. You cannot oblige everyone, but you can at least talk to people obligingly. And this is extremely, extremely important for a doctor. Never judge people how they look or how they speak. As a doctor and an administrator, I interview a large number of people. There are a lot of people who come to me very well dressed, with a nice tie, they speak well, present themselves well. And there's another guy coming who's shabbily dressed, unshaven. Who do you think I will choose? The tendency is to choose somebody who speaks well, presents well, who's dressed well. But believe me, in reality, how people look or how they speak has no relationship to what they are. I just want to tell you a short story. It happened perhaps about 100 years ago. There was an old couple. They wanted to meet the principal, the dean of one of the Ivy League universities in US. But the president of Ivy League universities are very hot-headed people. They think no end of themselves. And they refuse to see this couple because they're shabbily dressed. The president and the secretary thought, after waiting for some time, this couple will leave the room. But the old man persisted. He said, no, I have to meet the president. Otherwise, I am not going out of this office. Then the secretary convinced the president that somehow you see them, they are refusing to leave the office. So president finally agreed to see. The old man talked to the president and he told him that, sir, my son was a student of this university. He died in an accident. I want to erect something in his memory. Then the president got irritated. He said, a lot of students have died. If everyone wants to put up a tombstone in this university, it will become like a cemetery. Then the old man tried to convince the president, no sir, I am not talking about a tombstone. I am talking about a new building for the university. Then the president got irritated. He looked at them and he said, do you know how much it costs to build a university building? It costs $100 million. Then, till that time, the old man's wife was sitting quiet. She just nudged at her husband. She said, honey, if it is going to cost only $100 million to build a university building, why not we build our own university? And this is how Stanford University was built. The couple were Leland Stanford. At that time, they were the richest people in the world, and they were most shabbily dressed. So, in your life, when you interact with the people, never judge by the people how they look or how they speak. Be spiritual. I am not saying you should be religious. It is up to you. But believe in God. As a surgeon, I operate on many patients every day. In heart surgery, we take them nearly to the death and we bring them back. If there is any surgeon in this world who says, I will guarantee success, he is kidding. Whatever I do, the outcome is never in my hand. It is decided by someone on top. I pray to God, I start the surgery and leave it to Him to decide. And that keeps me in the right balance throughout the procedure. This is what you all have to learn. Believe in God, put your best effort, and whatever happens, it is His decision. And it will always turn out to be good for you. Be techno-savvy. It is very important for all of you to learn how the computer runs, how the technology runs. I'm sure, are you all very comfortable with the internet and the modern gadgets? You are? I'm sure your parents think that it is too late for us to learn. It is never too late for you all to learn technology. It is very simple, and in the near future, you will never be able to lead a life checking into a plane or do any dealing without learning technology. It is very, very important. You may think it is too late or it is too complicated, but you must respect the human ingenuity. Human ingenuity is very, very, very advanced to our own imagination. There is nothing in this world you cannot learn. This is a beautiful painting which is on the in my office. Everyone entering to my office asks me who the painter is. Then I ask them the same question, and the answer comes. Somebody says Michelangelo, others say Picasso. Do you know who made the painting?
Myself.
This painting is done by a trained elephant in Thailand. If you can train an elephant to do this beautiful painting, can't we as human beings learn how to tap few keys in a computer and learn it? It is possible. But we put a limitation on ourselves saying that is not possible. I was one of you many years ago thinking that I have enough people around me who know technology. Why should I learn? But my wife insisted that I have to learn technology. I have to learn how to send SMS. For me, mobile phone had only two buttons. One for green button to take the call, other one was a red button to disconnect the call. She said there is something called SMS, you have to learn. You have to learn how to send the emails. So I thought I should learn because she insisted. It was a difficult learning exercise for us people of that generation who didn't know how things work. And I started sending her the message saying, honey, I love you. And she responded the same way. It went on. One day at night she was checking my mobile phone and she banged my head. I said, what happened? I sent a message that honey, I love you to the matron of my hospital. Mistakes do happen in life, but that shouldn't prevent you from learning new things. God did not create everyone alive. God created people with different sets of skill. If God created everyone alive, who is going to drive my ambulance in the hospital? Who is going to clean the toilets of my hospital? God gave different sets of wisdom to different type of people, but with the belief that when He gave me the wisdom to create the institution, He also gave me the responsibility to look after the people. That is the difference. The wealth we have created, it is not my wealth. The wealth belongs to the society. I am a trustee and it is my responsibility to look after that. And this is what you all have to learn. One day you will become very successful. One day you will become very rich. One day people will write about you in the paper. But remember, you are only a trustee. You never own it. Never criticize others. As one day one of you will become a very famous surgeon. And you are the top surgeon in your city. As usual, a patient comes to you who was operated by another surgeon in the city, and the patient is not happy with the outcome. What do? You say that that surgeon did a bad job. Never criticize him. You will never become great by criticizing others. More than that, you can be hurt by criticizing others. If you say that surgeon has done a bad job, fine. believe me, that message will always reach him. And think about a situation, 5 years down the line, one patient, your own patient, is upset with you. And he goes to the medical council and fights a case against you. And the medical council creates a committee to inquire. And if that surgeon is the chairman of the committee, what is he going to do? So never criticize others. Never underestimate the importance of human beings. God has given the power of creation to very, very few people. But He has given the power of destruction to everyone. So nobody is so small that they can't hurt you. The greatest asset as doctors we have is the power to touch people. It is very important that we never hesitate to touch our patient, irrespective of how shabbily he is dressed, irrespective of how untidy he is. Because touch conveys a lot more message than millions of words can convey. A gentle touch on the back and talking to him with the eye contact can open a world of wisdom. This is something which our younger generation has failed to understand. We have a natural inhibition to touch others. We touch them with the stethoscope, we try to keep the touch as less as possible. You want to be a successful doctor, you should be able to touch all your patients. You should be able to hug them whenever you get an opportunity. And this is the only way you can be close to them. Accept the world as it is, not as it should be. This is a very imperfect world. We work in organizations which don't like. We live in a country which we hate. We live in a city where nothing moves. So we make ourselves miserable. Let's come to the personal life. We always feel, if only our spouse is better than how she is. We always felt our children can be better than what they are. We always feel, if I have a better job than what I am having. I have a very simple attitude towards my life. I have a perfect relationship with my wife. Do you know the secret? One day, many years ago, I told her that you're not okay, I'm not okay, that's okay. This is the simplistic approach towards life. Never look at perfection. God never designed this world to be a perfect world. Ultimately, as doctors now you are graduating, your parents, your friends and everyone are going to advise you how to set up your shop, how to go for practice. And one thing everybody will tell you, that always try to treat rich people, because they have the money and they can pay you well for the services. But young doctors, I just want to tell you, rich people can run faster than you. Never try to build your practice based on the rich people. You declare yourself that I'm a doctor for the poor people. It is a matter of time. The rich people have no choice, they have to come to you. But you go after them, they will run faster than you. The secret of success is caring for the poor. Because they are the ones who will sing your song, they are the ones who follow you wherever you go. I started my practice in Calcutta. I changed my address 4 or 5 times. And I never thought patients will follow me wherever I go. But they did come. About 5 years ago, when I used to work in Calcutta, I used to treat large number of poor patients from Bangladesh. About 5 years ago, there was a survey conducted in Bangladesh as who is the most popular person among the Bangladeshis. And everyone thought, you may think some of the film stars or the politicians. No, they voted me. I had been to Bangladesh only twice. This is a beautiful picture I took in front of my house. He is a professional like me. He is called Paura Karmika. Do you know what his job is? His job is, when the sewage pipe gets choked, in the places where rich people like us live, he has to get into the sewage pipe and clear the blockage, so that people like us, our life is protected. To get into the pipe, now you can see him, he is drinking liquor. He has to get drunk, otherwise you can't get into the sewage pipe. So, he generally dies due to cirrhosis of the liver. His average life expectancy is 45 years. He dies due to cirrhosis of liver. If cirrhosis spares him, he will die due to leptospirosis. And when he is sick, he has to stand in front of the long queue of the government hospital. No one cares. There are 9,000 of them in city of Bangalore. You can imagine how many of them are in the whole country. They are the people who look after our life. Can't we do something about it? The day you think you have a responsibility towards him, you will become the greatest doctor on the earth. I brought this slide today specifically to show it to Pujya Shri Hegdeji, because he is one person who I admire the most, who cares for the whole society. He has done so much. But as you do a lot of things for the people, people may not react the same way as we want them. This statement came from a very interesting person. When I was working in Calcutta many years ago, when I was operating, I had a call. Those days there were no mobile phone. And my anesthetist who took the call, he said, there is a call for you to make a house call. I said, I'm a heart surgeon. What do I do going to patient's house? Then he turned around and said, sir, the caller says, if you make this house visit, it may perhaps transform your life. I said, that's very interesting. I don't mind making that visit. And this is how I met a wonderful human being called Mother Teresa. I spent a lot of my time with Mother during the last 5 years of her life. She taught me a lot of values, and on her tombstone, this is the statement what is written. Mother who loved human beings throughout her life. You would never think that she had such an impression about the human beings. This is what I want all of you to remember. You may spend whole life trying to help human beings, but do not expect human beings to reciprocate the way you want them to do. They have their own way of reciprocating. This statement, I thought I should read it. People are often unreasonable, illogical, and self-centered. You wouldn't have thought Mother would say that about people. She did say that. But then her statement is, forgive them anyway. If you are kind, people may accuse you of selfish, ulterior motives. Then the Mother says, be kind anyway. If you are successful, you may win some false friends and some true enemies. Succeed anyway. If you are honest and frank, people may cheat you. Then the Mother says, be honest and frank anyway. What you spend years building, someone could destroy overnight, but build anyway. If you find serenity and happiness, they may be jealous. Mother says, be happy anyway. The good you do today, people will forget tomorrow, but do good anyway. Give the world the best you have got, and it may never be enough, but give the world the best you have got anyway. Now I want you to listen to the last sentence. You see, in the final analysis, it is between you and God. It never was between you and them anyway. ultimately, it has nothing to do with your patient or the society. It is between you and the God. Everything else has no meaning. So this is my last slide. I have spoken longer than I thought. Just want to ask you a question. How many of you called your mother in the last 1 month and told her that you love her? I want an honest answer. You know, in our country, the children, grown-up children, do not want to hug their parents. And the parents do not hug their children. And we never tell our parents that we love them. And the parents will never tell their children that they love them. But that doesn't mean they love them. They always feel, both parties feel, that the other party knows. But interestingly, the other party doesn't know. So it is very important, any occasion you get, just call or meet, just tell them you're grateful to them, you love them. Because generally, what happens, we all feel that we are grateful to our parents, one day we will become very successful and very great, and we go to your parents, and we tell them how grateful we are, how much we love them. But sadly, when you reach there, they may not be there. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. Those words of wisdom are sure to stay with us throughout our life. Our journey as a medical student begins at SDM with the blessings of Reverend President, His Holiness Dr. Devi Shetty at Dharwad. Today would signify the completion of that pilgrimage. So I now request our Reverend President to kindly bless the gathering.